Hi, I'm Chris Poor with AIS, and in this FISSURE video, I'll be talking about the plugins. It's a new system we're rolling out, and it's a work in progress, but there are some things in there right now that you can use, and I'll talk about what we're going to be doing with it. So, a plugin is a way to group related capabilities together. It's going to help us segregate sensitive material from the public repo. So if you want to import and export things from a zip file, plugins are the way that we're going to do that. So pretty much anything you see in FISSURE across all the tabs, someday we're going to make it so you can add it to the plugin. Inside a plugin, you're going to see a zip file with two folders. It'll have install files and tables. Tables are the rows for the database tables. I'll show you what those are in a second. The install files mimic what's in the FlowGraph library. You'll see the same directory structure. And these are files that get transferred and get run. The way it's going to work is that the central hub is going to host all the plugins, and you can deploy them to the remote sensor nodes over our network. So if you want to install software onto a remote sensor node, you'll have all the information right in the plugin to do so. So it'll either be a set of instructions for installing software that you, if you're connected to the internet, it'll just run them, or it can include the dependencies and the pip packages and things like that if you want to install it directly, offline. So that's the future. It doesn't quite do that yet. These plugins will also be able to tell us what's installed on the sensor nodes. We'll be able to see which plugins are residing on there. And a good way to show that is we've added this plugins folder. This is where they're all going to reside at the central hub. You'll have your different plugins that are sitting there with the two folders. And in the future, we'll have a set of core FISSURE capabilities that'll have its own folder. And when we go to run things in the dashboard, instead of accessing the FlowGraph library for things, they'll be accessing the plugin folder directly. They'll be running out of the plugins. So this whole FlowGraph library folder will go away with all the different types of things in here. But for now, we're keeping the same structure in the plugin folder that you're going to see here in the install files. That could change in the future. It may look different because we'll be able to tie it right to the database. So the tables for the different things look kind of like this. There's a password. You can put passwords on the plugins to protect them, but the first row will have the header IDs, the header names for the different columns, and then the rows are the things you're adding that's new. So if I wanted to add a new attack, a new Python script for doing something, it'll have a single item there. And if you've never seen what the database looks like, it looks kind of like this. You'll see this is pgadmin 4. I'll make a new video about how to access the database and do things inside of it, but you can right click and view and you'll see all the rows. So these are the things that get added to the plugins if you want to add a new capability. So anything that's in here is fair game, and we're going to add more and more as we go. That's pgadmin 4. You can also view those rows in this Browse tab. It's the same tables. But we've added this Plugin Editor tab that will help you import and export and edit the plugins while they're sitting here. So if we want to import a plugin, we just select the zip file. It'll ask you for a password because it's protected. It's optional. Click Apply Changes to Save Database. You have to click Apply because everything is happening on the hypervisor computer. So let's talk about that for a second. So we're importing a zip file with this dashboard GUI, but the dashboard GUI could be on a different computer. It could be on a phone, it could be on a laptop somewhere that connects to a central hub. Right now it's on the same computer as the dashboard, but in the future it may be somewhere off on a network. So you click apply, it transfers the information to the hub, saves it to the hub. There is a catch right now, since I don't have everything running out of the plugins folder and I still have that FlowGraph library. If I want to copy the support file over, it has to go to that FlowGraph library still, which is a temporary thing. So you can specify your supporting files up here, and it's the same as what it says in the database row. And so right now it's being added to the FlowGraph library folder from Fissure. In the future it'll be plugins, main and single stage flow graphs. So this is just a temporary workaround until we make it so everything runs out of the plugin folder. It's a little confusing, but that's the most confusing part. And I can add more supporting files. I can replace, I can rename them. And what's going to happen is it will add the new item in my attack here, my attack tree. Everything's loaded. If I hit view file, here it is. See, it's in the FlowGraph library folder instead of the FISSURE plugin folder. That's what all that mess was. And you can click start and it'll run it, and you just imported something pretty quickly. It could be more user intuitive, and we're going to make it that way. If you want to edit the plugin, you can take an existing thing that we've already added to our library, just some other attack, and I added a button here to copy it to the table over here. And if you want to add this flow graph, you can add a row and browse for it and pick it out. You gotta be careful of your library versions. You can delete things in here. The append to plugin will let you select another zip file, and it'll just stack your plugins. So it'll just add more rows. So if you want to do, if you have lots of capabilities, you want to do more than one, you can create a new one, import the old ones, build a super big one. The export tables will just export this to a CSV file. So if you want to copy and paste things, not mess with all the files, you can. The export zip only works after you've applied the changes. Anything you see here won't be exported to the zip until you hit apply changes, because it has to go through the central hub. So if you want to make a new plugin from what's there, what you've already imported and applied and saved, you can do so. Let's call it something else. Let's call it export. It'll ask you if you want to put a password on it. You can leave it blank if you don't want one. And it created it. And inside you'll see the same structure. You'll see the one row, the one thing that we've exported here. So that's how you make a plugin. In the future, we're going to get rid of this add tab. Since we're getting rid of the FlowGraph library, the way we add attacks to things is going to change. So all of this will be transferred to this plugin editor tab. So this is kind of like bulk editing, but if you just want to add one little thing, we're going to make it easier, and we can do it like this, but for plugins. So for this, we're taking existing things in our library and copying it over here. But if you want to add something brand new, that's what this was used for in the past, but we're gonna put it into this plugin editor so you do it all in one place. So that's a future thing. Okay, that's about it. You can close it. So it's not tied up at that central hub anymore. You want to be able to edit it without things going on in the background. We can delete a plugin by selecting it. Let's see, do you want to do it? Do you want to remove files and database entries? Yes. And what's going to happen once message goes over there, does its thing, comes back and says you're all done. Takes a second. It's going to remove the attack from the list here, and it's not going to be in the database anymore. It would have been here at the bottom. It's not there anymore. No demo item. Okay, so that's how you delete. That's how you import. You can create one in the same way. Create, just type name. It'll open that up for you. You have to hit apply to save it. Alright, that's about it. It's going to look a lot different as we add new things to it and work on deploying it to the remote sensor nodes. We've added a tab here that'll show you what's installed on each node. So when you right click, it'll list what's there. It'll list what's in the central hub, and you'll click on an item and deploy it to the remote node to install things. Or uninstall things, I guess, too. And when you right click, it'll change the options you have in the FISSURE dashboard. So if you right click on a node, it'll show you what attacks are available to run at that node based on the plugins that are installed. So that'll be a nice feature to have. There's more awareness, more capability. In summary, let's read off everything I have here for it. Plugins group related capabilities into reusable units. They help segregate private or restricted content from public repos. They enable fast loading and saving of capability sets, import/export. They support optional password protection. They allow the hub to detect plugin presence on sensor nodes. They enable remote installation of software, both plugins and dependencies. All execution is going to be routed through a standardized plugins directory, and the library tab, the library add tab, will be reformed into the plugin editor tab, and the FlowGraph library itself will be dissolved and added to like a core plugin in the plugins folder. That's it. That's all I have. Stay tuned and keep an eye out for updates. Thank you.